We're coming up on that time of year every American dreads, tax time. The IRS is already terribly unfair to many taxpayers, and now warnings that it's about to get worse. Your tax refund will be late, and it will be much harder to get help from the IRS as you try to navigate those very complicated tax forms. The IRS is really a problem.
The agency now saying staff shortages could mean delayed refunds and more identity theft.
And the commissioner blames budget cuts.
This is a plea for more funding.
I just think they're whining.
I mean, this is like a 3% budget cut if there are many ways you can make up for this money.
How about putting Al Sharpton on a payment plan for the taxes he had?
Look, every government agency has had deep cuts.
Why don't they just do their jobs? They're just holding up the American people.
It does make the case for needed reforms.
So is there any hope for the future of the American tax system and for you, the taxpayers? Well, we spoke with Finance Committee Chair Senator Orrin Hatch. Senator, nice to see you, sir.
Well, nice to see you, Greta.
And I should say, Mr. Chairman, you're now the chairman of the Finance Committee.
Well, that's nice of you to say that. It is. I've been chairman of 2 other major committees, but this is the best of all of them.
I bet it is. Okay, let's talk about the tax code. You and I have spoken many times over the years. What's the plan for the tax code? Are we going to get rid of it and start all over and get one we can all understand or not?
Well, we clearly have to reform the tax code, and it's a big job because, first of all, you've got to bring people together in a way that you can get the job done. But there are so many things that need to be changed that it's just unbelievable, and it's unworkable. It's well, if you put the code together, it would be 7 foot tall. I mean, with the regulations, it's just unbelievable. The American people just don't know what to do with it. Tax preparers, you couldn't get any 2 tax preparers to prepare complicated returns the same way. That's pathetic when you stop and think about it. And we've got to simplify that code and do a number of other things as well. I've got a list of things that I think we ought to do.
Do you prepare your own taxes? I can tell you, I don't prepare my own. I can't figure out the tax code, and mine isn't particularly complicated, but do you do your own taxes?
I used to when I was practicing law, but I wouldn't dare do it today because, first of all, I don't have that much, and it really isn't all that complicated, but it's very complicated compared to what it used to be. And you've got so many different facets of the tax code. So I use professional help all the time. Ever since I've been a senator, I don't want to make any mistakes. I don't want anybody saying that I haven't paid my taxes. And it's just better to do that.
I've asked so many members of the House and the Senate whether they do their own taxes, because to me it's always a bit peculiar. The very people who write the taxes confess to me that they don't understand the tax code.
Oh, yeah.
And so if they don't understand the tax code and they've written it, what about the rest of us?
Well, that's right. We do have to revamp that code. If I had my way, we would do a tax that basically, or a tax system that basically would be a cash flow system. So if you buy something as a businessman, you can deduct that in the year that you bought it, and make it much more simple, much more workable. And of course, we're going to have to work on getting more and more people by broadening the base who help to pay taxes. Right now, you can make a case that over 50% and really approaching 60% of the American people do not pay any taxes. And a high percentage of them are living off the government. And that's what our more liberal philosophy has done for us in this country. And there's no desire to change that. So we're a long way from having a tax code that really will work for everybody.
Do you have any oversight authority over the IRS? And if so,
oh, yeah.
So you do. So do you expect to have hearings on the IRS? Should the IRS look to be cleaned up?
Well, when Chairman Baucus was chairman of the committee, I was his ranking member. We held some 30 hearings on the IRS. And also we're continuing our investigation of the 501c3, 4, and 5s, and some of the problems that went on that were politicized problems at the IRS. One reason we haven't completed is because they keep finding more and more emails of some of these employees of the IRS that are in question here. And hopefully we'll finish that investigation soon.
So do you smell a rat?
Yeah, I think I do. I think I'd have to be pretty stupid not to smell a rat in this situation.
And you can see our complete interview about the IRS and taxes with Senator Hatch. Just go to GretaWire.com.